So why Max Payne 3? Of all the games out there, all the open worlds, all the cinematic experiences, everything else, why is Max Payne 3 my favourite game? And that's a very good question, because I have played better games. Red Dead Redemption 2 has a better story. Like, literally any Sony open world has better graphics. There's games with better shooting. But Max Payne 3 is basically better than the sum of its parts, I think. It's just such a weird game based on when it came out, because Rockstar was late 2000s, early 2010s, was focused on all these big open worlds, you know, trying to push for the best graphics, the most content. And then along comes this linear third-person shooter, which a lot of people seem to have forgotten about, which is, it's really, it's a real disappointment. If anything, in my opinion, at least, the game that came out a year before, LA Noire, I feel like that should be the underrated one rather than Max Payne 3, since at least people have heard of that, even though it's one of Rockstar's more obscure titles. Hell, it's even got a re-release. Or no, a remaster, sorry. But Max Payne 3 is like one of the most mature games I've ever played, I think. Because, and I'm not just saying that because the serious elements in the story, like the organ harvesting subplot, but like it takes our character down like a very dark road, into a place there where he's not used to. He's chased out of his own home in New Jersey by the gangsters, and he's left to fend for himself in Brazil after taking a job from a family he doesn't even like. And the thing is with Max himself, he's not a very nice person, since he killed without question, but I think he does genuinely want to do the right thing. Like in the first game, he was a bit of an asshole vigilante, you know. He was doing it all for himself. In 2, he's doing it for a person, which is way more admirable. But in 3, he's doing it for the good of the people, because he himself said he's nothing to lose. And, you know, he's trying to expose the corruption in Brazil, in the city. But, and I think that's very powerful. It's admirable, even, something that you can look up to. I mean, Max isn't exactly like the model character I'd want to fashion myself after, but, you know. And one thing I like that a lot of people don't really like is the way the story ends. I think it ends very well, with Max finally getting a happy ending after all the darkness he's been through. Like, when people say they want a Max Payne 4, they want a continuation of the story. But I'd want a Max Payne 4 as a continuation of the gameplay, because Max's story is finished, I think. Like 3 ends with him on a beach, chilling out after all the fighting he's been through, and I don't think it'd be right to drag him out again. So I'd like to see a Max Payne 4 in the sense of like a prequel game rather than a sequel to this. Oh yeah, the gameplay, it's fantastic. It's one of the best third-person shooters I've ever played. Like, you see the bullet time, it's definitely improved from like the first 2 games. Yeah, I don't know much more to say. It's just fun. I like how there's only like a few weapons you can carry instead of Max shoving all the, like, holding every single weapon at once. Like, you have to strategize by what weapons the enemy drops. I think my favorite moment of gameplay was like the hook scene in the Brazilian part where you're in a warehouse and Max hits the thing and flies up on a hook. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's about everything I want to say in this game. I know not too many people have heard of this game, but do play it if you get the chance. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, don't really have much more to say, so thanks for listening.